Hi, I'm Darren from Euromaid, and today we're here to talk about some features that come on most Euromaid upright cookers and an explanation as to how they work, like what's the difference between a fan-forced and a fan-assist oven. Fan-forced operates by circulating hot air around the oven using a rear element wrapped around the fan. It pulls the air through the rear element in a circular motion and forces it around the outer walls of the oven, creating even temperature throughout and ensuring everything is cooked at the same rate. This is great for cooking food items like small roasts, party pies, batch cooking and cakes. Fan assist works by turning both top and bottom elements on, using them to help brown and crisp your food. This function is much better for large roasts, crisping your baked potatoes, browning up your pork crackle or roast beef. The fan also helps circulate the heat throughout the other levels. So there are many ways to clean your oven, but what is a catalytic liner and how does it actually work? Catalytic liners are usually found on the side walls of your oven and work by absorbing and storing the splatter and odours in your oven. To clean them, you simply turn the oven on to the highest temperature and let the oven run on its own for 45 minutes. During this time, when the oven reaches temperature, a chemical reaction will form within the liner, and the catalytic liner will release all the oil and grease that has been stored to the surface of the liner. When the stored residue is exposed to the heat, it then carbonizes into a white powdery dust that will sit on the outside wall of the liner. Once the oven turns off and cools down, the white powdery dust particles will fall to the floor of the oven, which you simply wipe off. This easy, effective process will not have any effect on food if it occurs whilst cooking. You can also clean your catalytic liners with warm soapy water. You should not use oven cleaner on the liners, as this will ruin the catalytic solution and will no longer work. So let's talk about flame failure and why it's so important. Flame failure is a safety device called a thermocouple that is fitted to each gas burner. Inside the thermocouple there are two metal pins that touch together. For the burner to operate, you need to heat the thermocouple up and it will release the two pins together. This means that once the gas burner is lit, hold the igniter down for 5 seconds to ensure the thermocouple heats up. After this, the gas will run freely. If a gust of wind or boil over occurs and knocks out the flame, the thermocouple will register loss of heat, which will bring the two pins together and will turn off the gas automatically. The gas will not flow again until the thermocouple is heated back up by turning the burner back on. It should also be known that it is a legal requirement living in an apartment 2 stories or higher that all gas appliances are fitted with flame failure. Ovens with cavity cooling fans are so much better for you and your kitchen. Cavity cooling fans are supplied on some ovens. Their function is to keep oven wires, electronics, door and kitchen cabinetry cool when in operation. When the outer cavity of the oven reaches 60 degrees, a thermo switch will turn on the cavity cooling fan. This fan drags cool air in through the bottom, up through the back wall and out through the front control panel. This protects the wiring, keeping the control panel and oven door cool to touch during operation. It's important to know that the cavity cooling fan will remain on after you finish cooking and turn the oven off, and will continue to run until the outer cavity returns below 60 degrees. So let's talk about the benefits of closed-door grilling over open-door grilling. When grilling with a traditional open-door grill, the heat generated escapes through the front door, resulting in the grill overcompensating to generate enough heat to grill your food. This results in excessive fat splatter, flare-ups, and tends to dry out your food. The benefit of using a closed-door grill is that the heat is retained within the unit, meaning the grill is able to cycle on and off, reducing your cooking time. There is also less splatter, fewer flare-ups, and it doesn't dry out your meat. So there's a few features of most of our upright cookers. Euromaid, another quality product at an affordable price.